Hello everyone and welcome to the Dillon with a Blankie channel, where it's a beautiful day to reminisce about a beautiful challenge. Today, I've got a special challenge video for you guys. I recently celebrated 3 years of being terminally online in terms of live streaming and making videos, and believe it or not, even 3 years ago I was doing challenge runs. At the beginning of my streaming career, nuzlocke had always interested me, but being someone who never played past Gen 3 of Pokemon, I never really attempted to try one. I decided that I would make a goal that at 100 follows on Twitch, I would do my very first nuzlocke on Pokemon firered, a game I had zero experience with, meaning I was going to play it practically blind. Lo and behold, we hit that goal, and this started my journey into my first ever nuzlocke. The rules of this challenge were simple. First off, the run doesn't begin until we get our first set of Pokeballs. Second, we can only catch one Pokemon per route, and it's a do or die catch, meaning the first mon we encounter is our only chance to obtain a Pokemon for that area. If we kill it on accident, it's gone forever. And third, if a party member faints, it's gone for good. These are the standard nuzlocke rules, but I put my own little twist on this challenge. I made it so that I start with only 6 Pokemon allowed in my party. If I lose someone, that drops my slots to 5. To earn back that slot, I need to get 2 badges. This means with all badges, I can only get 10 Pokemon through the entire run. I hope you guys enjoy this little blast from my past, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more, and check out the Patreon if you want to help support me. Now, let's get into this video. We start our journey by selecting our gender. With the very limiting options, I chose boy and named our protagonist Pickles. We then named our rival Blankie. Professor Oak, in his haste to pipe our mother, gives us our first Pokemon and sends us on our way. My wife picks my starter for me, so we get Squirtle and name him Young Thug. We then engage in our first battle against Blankie's Bulbasaur, which we win handily. Now, as I understand, the catching part of the nuzlocke doesn't begin until we gain our first Pokeballs. So I fight through the enemies on the way to Viridian City, get the parcel for Oak, and deliver it to him. With this, we gain the Pokedex and our first 5 Pokeballs. The nuzlocke now truly begins. What will our first encounter be? It's a level 2 Pidgey, and we catch it pretty fast. Of course, it's the lowest level Pidgey I can get. Nevertheless, we obtain it and give him the name Georgie. I see a critical future for this bird. Right outside of the Viridian Forest, I catch my next Pokemon, a level 5 Caterpie that I name Grasspoo. At least it's a higher level than Georgie. Speaking of Georgie, I begin a grind session to get him a little stronger. Georgie, only having Tackle, has to rely on Young Thug to kill a ton of his brethren. This strategy is not working well for us on Route 1, so I head into Viridian Forest for some easier Pokemon to kill. Then this Weedle from Hell dodges all my attacks and poisons Young. Luckily, I am able to limp back to the center without him dying. Once back in the forest, we get Georgie to level 5, where he learns Sand Attack. After a bit of running back and forth, we finally decide to brave the first trainer. Georgie squares off against a Weedle and takes him out. He also destroys the follow-up Caterpie with ease and learns Gust. Now, like I said before, this is my very first time running a nuzlocke. And being nervous, I spent a decent bit of time running back to the center after every battle we do. There isn't much challenge in the forest itself, just a lot of getting poisoned by Weedles. I do get Grasspoo to evolve into a Metapod in here. By the time I'm out of the forest, Young is level 10, Georgie is level 11, and Grasspoo is level 8. Feeling confident, I head to fight the trainer in front of Brock. Young handles this trainer with ease, being a water type, shredding his Geodude and Sandshrew. I then challenge Brock, while he constantly tells me how rock hard he is. Brock leads with Geodude and we 2-turn him. Then, he goes into his Onix, who also gets 2-turned, and we learn Water Gun. Just like that, we already have our first badge of the game. Heading east, we make some quick work of all the trainers, having only a few close calls, but no big deal. Doesn't attack. Okay, he's attacking. Oh no, and we've been poisoned. Moist prefer— No! Oh no! Oh no! God, can I learn Poison Powder or something? Fuck. Come on, Grasspoo. You can do this! Grasspoo even becomes a Butterfree and gains Confusion. Getting to the first patch of grass here, we gain our 4th member, a Mankey, and I name him Dillon. It's probably best I level him up, so I fight the nearby trainer that has a Jigglypuff, and I get some of the most me RNG I've ever seen. This Jigglypuff lands a Sing on me, and then Young Thug gets immobilized by Love for 7 entire turns. Once I'm finally able to hit, the Jigglypuff once again lands the Sing. Sing, by the way, has a 55% accuracy. What is this? I then send in Georgie, because we know he doesn't swing that way, and we finally take it down. I never realized that a Jigglypuff could be such a menace. In Mount Moon, you would be totally surprised to find my first encounter was a Zubat that I murdered. Oh well, there will be more Pokemon later. I fight with a trainer that has a Clefairy, and can you believe I got hit with Sing again for a 3-turn sleep, and nearly get killed by a critical double slap. My luck is nearly non-existent for this portion of the game. I swap in Georgie, being afraid to lose my starter, and am hit with another Sing that Georgie is asleep for the entire 5 turns. And we barely survive that encounter. This is looking bad for us luck-wise. Want to see some more insane luck? I use Young against this level 11 Zubat, and I get first turn Supersonic. I proceed to hit myself twice, and once again nearly die to a Zubat. I now have to rely on Georgie to save Young.
Fine. Like every fucking fight, dude! And I flinched! Am I still confused? A critical hit. Another hurt myself in confusion? What the shit, dude? This game is all over my ass.
After the genocide of Zubats and random trainers, we make it to the Pokemaniac, defeating him, having Young Thug become a Wartortle. And we take Lord Helix with us for hopefully better luck. Finally being free from that awful cave, I head for the new patch of grass right outside, and our first encounter is a level 10 Spearow. I can tell he has a strong sense of justice. So I catch it and name him Albert. I've been maintaining everyone's level, so our party is averaging around level 15, with Albert being behind as the newest member. I decide to dip my toes into the pool and enter Misty's gym to fight the first trainer. Dillon and Grasspoo work in tandem to take care of him. It was scary, but we did it. I don't feel ready to take on Misty just yet, so I decide to explore and I make a critical error.
Oh shit! Oh, I forgot about him. God damn it.
I head to Nugget Bridge and absolutely forgot there was a rival fight here. I end up having Dillon lead against this Pidgeotto, and he nearly gets killed being weak to flying. I switch Dillon out for Georgie in hopes Georgie can keep up better with the same typing. Since I had to switch him in, I'm doing my best to keep him healed. However,
he's still got 3 other Pokemon! Potions, oh my god.
Ah! Georgie! A quick attack critical puts Georgie in an early grave. Our first loss. There's no time to grieve though. Sending in Grasspoo, we finish off the Pidgeotto and his Rattata. Knowing Blanky Zabra can't do anything, I let Albert take the free kill, and then it's Young Thug against his Bulbasaur. His Bulbasaur opts to put me to sleep and misses a few times, allowing me free hits. Once he lands the powder though, I use some potions to get Dillon's health back up. Then, Bulbasaur Vine Whips me, doing super effective damage, and scaring me enough to switch in Dillon.
Oh my god.
No! What? Are you joking? Bro, this is a fucking meme! Everything I fight crits! Everything crits, bro!
Who immediately dies to the Vine Whip critical. After he's down, I send in Grasspoo, who is immediately put to sleep as well for 3 turns. Once he wakes up, we finally finish off this Bulbasaur. Just like that, 2 Mon were snatched away from us, well before their prime, leaving us with only 3 Mon and a severe disadvantage against Misty. Oh well, what's done is done. All we can do is move on in honor of the fallen. Albert obviously needs to catch up now more than ever, so I let him fight every battle in Nugget Bridge to gain experience. Albert shows he's an integral part of the team, not needing to be switched out much and surviving some deadly attacks. Once Nugget Bridge is cleared, I head to the patch of grass at the top and end up catching an Oddish, which I aptly name Georgie 2, in honor of the fallen Georgie. This creature has a dangerous bloodlust. Our next obstacle is getting through the trainers to get to Bill's house. After catching Georgie 2, I grinded for a bit, till the whole team was around level 17. Georgie 2 only knows a Bullet Seed TM I taught him, Absorb, Sleep Powder, and Stun Spore, and it'll be a while before he learns anything else. Young Thug has a couple of scares, but he manages to pull through. This game wants him dead. Young learns Bite in the middle of these battles, which I teach over Tail Whip. Our team works together to get to Bill, and once that's done, I head back to Misty's gym to fight the second trainer. I accidentally lead with Grass Poo, which wastes my first turn since I have to swap into Georgie 2. The enemy Goldeen doesn't do much against me, and I just absorb it to death, winning the fight. With the party nearly at level 20, I decide it's time to face Misty. I start off with Georgie 2 for the type advantage and use Bullet Seed. We get lucky with a critical hit, but Misty uses a super potion. Then, I get hit with a Water Pulse that immediately confuses me. Georgie 2 fights through it and finishes Staryu with a Bullet Seed. Once the Starmie is out though, Georgie 2 hits himself and I go for Stun Spore, desperately needing the speed advantage.
We're gonna hope for a Paralyze and Bullet Seed. Nope, didn't get it. Going for Bullet Seed. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3! Give me a 4!
You must.
That's 4, baby! Come on.
Pick a god and pray.
Georgie remains confused for a while, but once he shakes it off, we pull off a 4-hit Bullet Seed and finish off the Starmie on the next turn. Georgie 2 soloed Misty's gym, sating the Blood God and gaining our second badge. We get the TM for Water Pulse, which I teach the Young Thug immediately after getting rid of his tackle. I stock up on Super Potions and fight the Rocket member, sweeping his team with Water Pulse. I'm rewarded the TM Dig, which I save for later. On Route 5, I search the grass for my next teammate. It's a Meowth! I put it to sleep with Georgie 2 and use Absorb to lower its health. I have only 2 Pokeballs, so I'm worried I won't be able to catch it. However, it's obvious Meowth was destined to be on our team, being caught with the first ball. I name the new cat Kitten and move on. I also stock up on Pokeballs. I head on to Route 6 and my elite team is able to take care of all the trainers here. I don't catch anything on Route 6 since I could only get Pidgeys to spawn, so I gave up looking. Once in Vermilion City, I head east from the gym to train up Kitten by leading with Kitten, then swapping in Georgie 2. Doing this, I end up getting Georgie 2 to evolve into a...
Doom!
Georgie 2 has a nice advantage in this whole area, so I use him the most since our whole team can probably be wiped here without him. Georgie 2 has some lengthy matches with Magnemites and a Magneton here. These battles were all true tests of stamina, but Georgie 2 always tops. After that grinding session, the whole team is around level 20, with Albert having become a Fearow learning Pursuit, and Kitten learning Payday, which I use to gain some extra cash for myself. With everything around here cleared, I board the SSN and do my best to rotate the party, so everyone stays viable, but for now, our ace is undoubtedly Albert, being able to tank and deal damage. I get a TM for Brick Break, and I teach this to Young Thug for getting Withdraw. Georgie 2 learns Acid, which I teach over Sleep Powder. I fight every trainer on the ship, and head to fight the rival, who has left me with PTSD since our last battle. This fight, I lead with Albert, and this one is in honor of Georgie.
That's right. Got him. That's for Georgie and Dillon, you mother...
Albert has zero issue getting rid of Pidgeotto. Blanky follows up with Raticate, who does nothing but die to my Fury attack. His third is Kadabra, so I swap to Young. His Kadabra whips a Kinesis and Disable, giving me a free kill. Next is Ivysaur, so I switch to Georgie 2. We are put to sleep right away, but it means nothing since Ivysaur just can't damage Georgie 2. I mean, what is a bug to a god? We don't have that problem, however, because our newly learned Acid puts in the work retiring Blanky. In the captain's quarters, we rub his back and he gives us the HM for Cut, meaning we can now fight Lieutenant Surge. I head to the nearby grass and catch another Oddish that I name HM Dumpster and teach it Cut. I then use that TM for Dig and teach it to Kitten. With all that done, I head to our third gym with our party around level 25. The trainers are pretty tough here, and I opt to start with Kitten so they can gain enough experience to fight Surge. I'm very worried about Kitten being such a low level, but having Dig, Kitten is our secret weapon. With all my trust in Kitten, I engage Lieutenant Surge. Surge uses Voltorb and hits us with Shockwave. Kitten gets close to dying but manages to win out against Voltorb. Surge then switches to a Pikachu, so I bring out Georgie 2. His bloodlust has now peaked. Georgie 2 manages enough Bullet Seeds to kill that Pikachu in one turn. Now all that's left is Surge's Raichu. I keep Georgie 2 out and use Acid, lowering special defense, and then following up with Bullet Seed. Raichu keeps using Shockwave, but nothing Raichu can do is really enough to put Georgie 2 in danger.
5 Bullet Seeds? Can we see 5? 1, 2... Fuck, never when I need it. That's it. Surge is down, baby. He had to do it. He had to do it.
And there goes the battle. Surge could not stand up to the monstrosity that is our beloved Georgie 2. While I was worried about him at first, Georgie 2 has proved that even with his moveset, he can be a menace. With our third badge in hand, Surge gives us the TM for Shockwave. I teach this to Kitten getting rid of Scratch, meaning Kitten now has the most versatile moveset of our team. I grab the bike voucher from the Pokemon Fan Club in Vermilion, and then I head back to Cerulean getting our bike. I head to Route 9 and fight the trainers in my way. Since Graspoo is so much weaker than the rest of the party, I lead with him in hopes that he gains some levels. He deserves them. Confusion does an insane job here, and after that fight, I get rid of Tackle to teach the TM Aerial Ace. I then use Graspoo to fight this hiker. He starts with Machop, and I get rid of it easily. He then brings out an Onix. I use Confusion, and he retaliates with Screech. Being curious, I try out my new Aerial Ace. It doesn't do much against the Onix, and he uses Harden. For the third move, I go for Confusion again, and he just barely survives it. And then...
Ah! No! Why the critical?
Graspoo caught a stray, out of nowhere. I swap to Kitten and finish off the Onix, but it's over for Graspoo. Yet another critical hit has taken one of my beloved Pokemon.
Graspoo, you were among the first Pokemon that I caught. And you were very useful, up to a point. But it's just your time. This had to happen. Nothing could have prevented this. This is where you're meant to be, Graspoo. We love you. Rest in peace.
Once again, down to 4 Pokemon. I head back to Route 9 to fight the other trainers.
Let me show you what the fuck is up, Alan. Oh no! Oh no! Does that hit?
You gonna learn today?
Oh my god!
So, as a resident Gen 1er, I did not know you could get hit underground. Just like that, I lost Kitten right after Graspoo.
Kitten? You were the last Pokemon that I caught. And as much as I enjoyed having you on the team, you just could not cut it. Every 5 seconds, it was a super effective critical, almost killed you, but this one finally got you. You were finally done in. And I'm sorry, Kitten. I'm sorry you couldn't last any longer, but join your brothers and sisters in the box. You will be missed, Kitten. Rest in peace.
With 4 Pokemon now gone, I use Young Thug to get past these trainers who want me dead. I finally make it to the rock tunnel with my 3 remaining Mons and realize I didn't get Flash, so I gotta go find that. I wander around for a bit, no trainers really make a good match for me, and I eventually stumble into the aid that has Flash. While in Viridian City, I remembered I grabbed the old rod early and, well, why not use it here? I plead with my chat to let me get a Magikarp.
Alright, hear me out. Hear me out. I get 1 free Magikarp. What do you guys think? I'll let that be up to chat. Do I get a free Magikarp?
I hook a Magikarp and catch it with 1 Great Ball, naming it Magscarp. I sense great potential within this one. In a grind session, I got Magscarp up to level 20, making him the absolute monster, Gyarados. Learning Bite to pair with his only other move, Tackle. With a decently viable party now, we head into Rock Tunnel. Most of my party is nearing level 30, so I keep revolving my lead through the tunnel. Rock Tunnel is a huge place, and while we end up battling a lot, none of these encounters end up being anything more than a nuisance keeping me from the end. Exiting the tunnel brings us to Lavender Town, where I use the name raider to change Magscarp's name to Vishidos. At the store, I stock up on Great Balls and Super Potions. I then head south to fight the bevy of sailors for a bit of experience. This way is a dead end for now, so I head towards Celadon City, west of Lavender. I battle a few trainers and use the grass in the middle to catch us a Growlithe, who I named Fire Pupper. Another slew of trainers are left in the sheer awe of the monster that is Georgie 2. Once in Celadon, we beat the Rocket Grunt guarding the Rocket Base entrance, but before all that, I give into my crippling gambling addiction and spend the next good while playing the slots. I really want Ice Beam, which is my favorite move, but it's stupid expensive, so I take a break, then head over to Celadon Department, where I sell all my valuables and purchase TM15, good ol' Hyper Beam, which I of course teach to Vishidos. I then buy a Leaf Stone for later, giving up on the idea of Ice Beam. I instead get the Abra and name him Used Mop. Also, I lied. I didn't give up. I'm an addict. And I purchased the TM for Flamethrower and teach it to Vishidos, replacing Roar. I spent some time getting Fire Pupper ready for battle, and now my team is averaging level 30. We now enter the Rocket's base in the casino. We are extremely overprepared for this place, as Vishidos melts nearly every Pokemon. He rips and tears through everything, and I occasionally leave to restore our BP. We meet the boss Giovanni, and I swap to Young as the lead, and I utterly destroy his Onix and Rhyhorn. Giovanni then sends out his Kangaskhan, and it gets real once I Mega Punch, taking nearly half my health, meaning a crit on that, and it's goodbye to my starter. I panic switch to Georgie 2, who takes a heavy hit, but gets off one acid. The panic switching continues, and I send in Vishidos, who whiffs the Hyper Beam, and Kanga responds with a Mega Punch, and we secure victory with a final connecting Hyper Beam. This win nets us the Sylph Scope, meaning we can now clear the spooky ghost tower. Before we leave Celadon, though, we've kept Erica waiting while we do all the side quests, and she's had it too good for too long. Considering this gym is full of grass types, I use Vishidos and that flamethrower I got him, burning down the gym trainers. Then it's Erica's turn. She starts with Victory Bell, who eats my flames. Then Tangela gets melted. Her last attempt at life is Vileplume, and I switch to Georgie 2 to assert dominance. I paralyze the Vileplume, then I switch to Vishidos and Flamethrower, to which Erica uses a Hyper Potion. But in the next 2 turns, we take her out easily. This wins us the Rainbow Badge, and we get the TM for Giga Drain, which I teach to Georgie 2 over Absorb. He's a good boy, and he's earned it. Having 4 badges in the bag, we can now add Fire Pupper to the team. With a Sylph Scope on me, I head back to Lavender Town to tackle the spooky ghost place. Of course, our rival Blanky is waiting for us, and he leads with his Pidgeotto, but this bird means nothing to my Vishidos. His next mon is his own Gyarados, meaning now we battle to prove superiority. It's obviously one-sided, and I win out against it. But then, he switches to his own Growlithe, showing that he is a huge copycat. I get rid of it with Young, and once he is down to Ivysaur, I decide to let Fire Pupper have his first battle. They exchange some blows, and Ivysaur keeps putting Pupper to sleep, but he can't keep this up forever, and Pupper wins. His last mon is Kadabra, so to be safe I switch back to Vishidos, even though it's only level 20, and we kill it quick. We are for sure way over leveled, but it should even out soon enough. Our first encounter with a Ghastly gets me excited, but unfortunately the Ghastly freaking kills itself using Curse before I can catch it. A big waste of potential. Seeing as we are in a ghost place, I place Albert in front and use Pursuit to kill everything in one hit with a type advantage. Once we reach the top, there's a ghost blocking the path and the Sylph Scope reveals it as Marowak. And Young Thug kills it for the second time, and we watch it ascend to heaven. Up the stairs are a few rocket battles, which are just easy pickings, considering they all have Zubats. We free Mr. Fuji, who is held captive at the top, gaining the Poke Flute. Using this, we can now progress further south past that Snorlax blocking the way. Waking him up, I forgot that we have to fight him, and Snorlax here gets a lucky crit against me, of course, and constantly rests off any damage I do, so I run, saving me the worry of losing any Pokemon. Then I continue down the path. We have a few battles that end up with some close calls and a lot of switching out, but we make it out relatively alright in a Fuchsia City. Before I head to the next gym, I'm determined to get Georgie 2 to level 35 to learn his final move. So I grind some fights until he gets there, learning his last move, Moonlight, which was a waste because I don't use it. I then shove a Leaf Stone down his throat, evolving him into his ultimate form, Death. I then spend time getting all my party to level 35, and I go to the extra little bit to get Young Thug to become a Blastoise. I head back to Celadon and buy the TM for Dig, which I teach to Fire Pupper, and I buy a Firestone to evolve Fire Pupper into Arcanine. I am not confident enough to fight Koga, but seeing as I couldn't figure out how to get anywhere else, I head into his gym to fight some trainers. The first juggler here has a strong Hypno, but he keeps missing Poison Gas, keeping Fire Pupper in the game. That one battle shows me how badly mismatched I am for this gym. I decide to do the Safari Zone first, and what's my first encounter? Yep, that's about my luck. I catch it and name it Tumor. I teach Surf to Vishidos and get the Warden's Teeth so we get the HM for Strength. I head to Route 18 to fight all the bikers I haven't fought yet. Fighting everyone here gets my team up to level 36. Then, I decide it's time to fully commit to Koga's gym. Fire Pupper is my lead for the trainers here, and he does a fantastic job taking out the opposition. I teach Albert Steel Wing over Peck, and then head in for a battle with Koga. He leads with Coughing, and I respond with Vishidos. I'm poisoned right away and waste a few of Koga's potions, but Vishidos wins out. When Koga swaps to Muck, I then send Fire Pupper in and use Dig. Fortunately, the Muck is using Minimize a lot, so now it's very tough to hit him. Pupper gets poisoned and I have no choice but to send Georgie 2 in. Of course, Koga then Hyper Potions his Muck. I use Georgie 2 to paralyze it and I full restore Fire Pupper. Muck keeps minimizing, and at this point any hit is a blessing. Georgie 2 can't land a hit and has nothing strong enough to really damage him. He tries his best, but I have to swap to Vishidos. I land some surfs, but I get hit with toxic. I stand strong with Vishidos until we have no choice but to swap again. I go for Georgie 2, hoping he can finish off the muck. We land a Giga Drain and a Bullet Seed, finally killing this muck dumpster. I switch back to Fire Pupper and Koga uses his last coughing, and of course lands a poison on Fire Pupper. I use a super potion to keep Fire Pupper alive, and then...
What is this trash? What is this trash? Ah! No! Oh no! Oh no!
You already know who it is.
No! Not my pupper!
The bastard took us out with it. And wouldn't you fucking guess it was a crit? The only thing between us and victory is a Weezing that is much stronger than we are. I swap into Young, who gets sludged and poisoned. I'm afraid of another self-destruct, so I opt into Georgie 2. He uses Sludge, and it's still strong, which backs me into a corner of constantly healing Georgie 2 to keep him alive. All it takes here is one critical hit, and Georgie 2 is a goner. I get brave for a second, and I try a stun spore at the risk of death, and it missed. So it's back to healing over and over. At this point, I'm ready to give up. It's all over, surely. But when we needed him most, Georgie 2 landed the Paralyze.
Odds increase with that. Odds increase. As long as a paralyze can happen. Now we just pray. Okay, he's ready to go back out.
We're dead! There's no way we win here. But I can't let Fire Pupper have died in vain. I have to persevere. And Georgie 2 lands another stun spore. We get the paralysis, which lets me fully heal the team's HP, but they are still poisoned. I have one super potion left, and I have to make a move. It's now or never. I swap back to Young and lose nearly half my health immediately. I heal with the last water I have, and then get a paralysis and use my water pulse. I use up the last super potion. This is it. If something doesn't happen now, we lose Young Thug here.
Oh, I can't look. Huh. Oh my god. Survive. Please survive. Oh, I survived. Albert's like the only able-bodied Pokemon. Come on, hit yourself. Please hit yourself. Please hit yourself. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. What's guaranteed to hit? Steel Wing, whatever. Is that it? Please tell me that's it. Please tell me that's it. We did it.
Against all odds of surviving, we did it, gaining our 5th badge and the TM for Toxic. Honestly, watching this back to write the script, I was stressed out. Now we must lay Pupper down to rest.
It was too early for you to die here. You should have been till the end of the game. Okay, out of every Pokemon, I believed in you the most. But it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe Used Mop is the one who's supposed to rise up and take your spot. But, Fire Pupper, I'm sorry. I failed you as a trainer, and I will only learn from this, and I will make sure that no other Pokemon die. In honor of you. Rest in peace, Fire Pupper. We'll miss you.
With that absolute tragedy behind us, we now carry on for 5 Fallen Comrades. I grind the team up to level 40 and I buy the TM for Thunderbolt, which I save for later. Considering my typing, I make the sound choice to go to Cinnabar Island first, where I complete the mansion and extinguish the fire of all the trainers in his gym. Then, it's Blaine's turn. Blaine leads with a Growlithe and I opt for Young Thug, setting up Rain Dance on my first turn. I then use Water Pulse to kill the Growlithe, his next mon is a Ponyta, which is another one-shot, then Rapidash, and then finally Arcanine, I can take half of its health, and I get it confused. It uses Fire Blast, which is pretty powerful, but won't be enough to kill, and on the next attack, we win the easiest gym battle yet. We gain the next badge and get Fire Blast. The important part here is I can now add a 5th member to the team, and I already know who I want. I add Used Mop, the Abra, to the team, who I already power leveled to be viable for us. Our crew is now all around level 40, except Young Thug, who is level 47. I evolve Use Mop into a Kadabra and teach him Toxic. Then it's off to Saffron City, where we tackle Silpho. Having done Blaine first, we are way overpowered for this area, and nothing stands a chance, so we wreck the company and get to our rival battle. He starts with a Pidgeot, and I use Young Thug, who is still touting that Water Pulse. Pidgeot can't do anything against me and goes down. Next is his Venusaur, which causes me to swap into Georgie 2. I'm hit with Sleep Powder, big surprise, and Venusaur uses Razor Leaf, showing that we don't have much to worry about with him. After about 6 turns of napping, Georgie 2 awakens his Bloodlust, and he uses Stun Spore, followed by Acid over and over again until it goes down. Next is Alakazam, so I switch into Young Thug, who uses Bite, and we get a flinch, meaning Alakazam doesn't get the chance to do anything. He then uses Gyarados, which forces me again to use mine. His Gyarados constantly uses Leer while I opt for damage. Once it's low enough, I switch into Young to make those Leers worthless. And we win! Oh wait, he has one more. Okay, now we win. No time for rest, because we have a rematch with Giovanni as well. He starts with Nidorino, and I begin with Vishidos. It only takes 2 turns, and then he's using Rhyhorn, who dies in 1 hit. Then, Kangaskhan comes out. I kill it easily, and last is his Nidoqueen. I swap to Young and 2-turn it with Water Pulse, an easy section. Afterward, I grind the party to around level 45. And I also use a trick between 2 emulators to trade Kadabra to myself, making him an Alakazam. I've run the tougher fights first, so Sabrina won't be an issue. Sabrina starts with Kadabra, and I start with Alakazam, and we win easily. Her next mon is Venomoth, so I switch to Vishidos and fire it. We don't one-shot, but we did run out her Hyper Potions. Once Sabrina uses Mr. Mime, Alakazam comes out and kills it. Sabrina then ends with Alakazam, and Young Thug bites him to death. We get our 7th badge and head straight for our 8th badge. Vishidos is not even playing here. There's no other trainer that can stand against him as he one-shots most of the opposition. Then, there he is, Giovanni again.
I'll kill you, boy.
Looks like it's all going my way now. And we now have our easiest badge yet, the 8th and final, meaning I can have a full team again. We also get the TM for Earthquake, one of my favorite moves. So I get rid of Rain Dance and teach it to Young. With my last slot available now, I fill it with the only Pokemon who matters. This Gengar that I named Loki. Where did I get him? Honestly, watching this back, I have no idea where I got him from, but I guess back then I just didn't care. I wanted Gengar. With all the battles in hand, there's only one thing standing between us and the Elite Four. Well, 2 things. First, we have to fight the rival again. Blanky starts with Pidgeot. Then I send in Albert. We exchange some blows, and this Pidgeot is once again a mother to deal with. He spams Wing Attack, and I miss a fly, which is crazy. Pidgeot is nearly dead, and I decide Georgie 2 is a better choice. Yeah, I was wrong. I put Young Thug out next, and I kill this stupid bird. Blanky goes for Venusaur, and I change to use Mop, and we one-hit with a critical. Pack that flower dinosaur up and put him away. Rhyhorn is next, so my Vishidos is the answer with a one-hit Surf. Then his Gyarados comes out, prompting the debut of Loki, who one-shots with Thunderbolt. Then it's Alakazam versus Alakazam. I go for Psychic every turn, and Blanky uses Calm Mind, which is insane. I send Vishidos in, thinking he's the best option. Another critical? This Alakazam can now nearly one-shot my entire team. I use Young and get a bite off, but it's not enough. Young is now in incredible danger. Alakazam also used Future Sight, meaning we are taking extra damage.
Fuck this Alakazam, dude! Oh no. That was so fucking close. Alright, alright, alright. This gives me a chance to kill it. Oh my god.
Holy crap. We squeeze by that one barely, and then we drown his puppy. Losing Vishidos here is a massive L. He carried just about every affinity we needed that we don't have.
Guys, today we've experienced a loss I honestly didn't think we were going to see at all. Today we lost Vishidos. He's a level 47 Gyarados, named after Mag's Vicious. And he was incredibly powerful up until the end. He had the greatest moveset, ranging from water to fire. He could even have electric moves. He was the best. He could do anything. You know, I felt like, when I was with him, I could fly. There was no stopping me. There was nothing anyone could do to stop me or bring me down. But an Alakazam with his bullshit Calm Mind and critical hit combo took Vishidos out of the game. That leaves us with a team of 5. But they're just as strong, knowing that they have to carry on for Vishidos. So, Vishidos, thank you for all you've done. You've been a great help until now. And I hope you rest in peace. We're gonna win, regardless. The next time we fight that Alakazam, I'm gonna wreck his fucking face. I promise you that.
Well, there's no use crying over it now, but after seeing how powerful that was, I decided to teach Calm Mind to my Alakazam. It's time to head to the Elite Four with only 5 Pokemon. Victory Road isn't much of a hassle, and now we stand at the gates. Our victory or utter defeat lies just ahead. With Loki the Gengar, Albert the Fearow, Georgie 2 the Vileplume, Used Mop the Alakazam, and Young Thug the Blastoise, we prepare for the final confrontation. I spend a bit getting some levels and get everyone close to 60, and we head in to battle Lorelei. The Ice Queen starts with Dugong, and I opt for Young Thug to use that Brick Break I taught him a million years ago. Dugong is taken out easily, and Cloyster is next, so I opt for Loki and I try a Thunderbolt, which one-shots. Slowbro is up next, and it's time for more Thunderbolt, which is another one-hit wonder. Lapras is coming up, and knowing how bulky it is, I send Young back out to Brick Break. It takes some doing, but a critical ensures Lapras' death. Jinx is next, and it's time for the debut of Earthquake. A crit ensures we win against Lorelei. Maybe the crit gods have decided to bless me this time. Bruno is our next hurdle, if we can even call him that. He starts with an Onix, so I one-shot with Young Thug. Then he swaps the Hitmonchan, and I go for Albert, and one-shot with Drill Peck. Machamp comes out and uses Scary Face to lower my speed. He manages to get a hit in before I can kill, putting me in a dangerous spot. Hitmonlee is his next choice, and inexplicably, I leave Albert in with reduced speed.
Oh no! Ah! I made the wrong choice!
And I'm killed for my idiocy. There's no time for mourning now. We have an enemy before us, and Georgie 2 is pissed. I send Georgie 2 in and spam the Mountain Dew acid. Georgie 2 avenges his fallen brother, and there's one more Onix left that we win against. I hate having lost Albert there, but all we can do is move on to Agatha. She starts with Gengar, and I have Used Mop prepped for one-shots. Agatha ends up being easier than Bruno. Now we must battle Lance, and with Vishidos gone, I need a new strategy. First, I use an Ether on Psychic, and I teach Young Thug Blizzard over Brick Break. Lance uses Gyarados, and I go with Loki and use Thunderbolt on him one-shotting. Then I hit his Aerodactyl, who survives by a sliver of HP. Once he's down, since Loki is weak, I send Young Thug to fight Dragonite, and we land a Blizzard and get a freeze! Dragonite never stood a chance. Dragonair is next, and my Blizzard misses. So does the next. But the last one connects, and all that remains is his last Dragonair. I Ether my Blizzard, and we connect, getting another one-hit wonder. We've done it. With 4 Pokemon in our party, we head on to the final battle. Has our team become strong enough?
満開千本桜影石
And that, my friends, is how I beat my first Pokemon Nuzlocke. It took around 53 hours and a lot of grinding, but we did it. This was one of my first streaming challenges, and the rules were a bit finicky, but I had a lot of fun doing it. This experience locked me into doing challenge runs, and I learned a lot about Pokemon that I didn't know from this challenge. 3 years ago, I started my journey of creating content, which has led me to where I'm at today. I hope you enjoyed this little blast from my past, and I hope you'll stick around for the next challenge I do so we can celebrate the next win together. Thank you everyone for your endless support and keeping me going for this long. I also want to take a minute to thank my patrons, If It's Not Fun, Polychrome Virus, Nerd Stop, and a new artist. You guys are the very best, like no one ever was. And now, if you will, a moment of silence for our fallen Pokemon.
Come on, there we go. F's in the chat for Georgie1. You did good. For Dillon the Mankey. We had him for like 2 seconds. Grasspoo the Butterfree. Kitten the Meowth. Firepupper the Arcanine. Vishidos the Gyarados. And finally, Albert the Fearow. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. We'll all remember you and we'll all carry you in our hearts. Our hearts will go on and will only become stronger through the pain of your loss.